I'm just now learning certain names when it comes to politics, but this one guy by the name of Chip Roy is a name that really, he's ringing bells. A lot of people respect him. I don't know his track record, his voting record, what he stands for politically or anything like that. But what I do know is that a lot of people really enjoy watching this guy. And he is apparently about to really give somebody the business when it comes to border security.
Well, thank you, Chairman. Mr. Reichel Melnick, let me ask you a question. Is Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia, is he a racist?
I can't comment on that.
Okay, what about Mark Kelly from Arizona?
Similarly, cannot comment on that.
Maggie Hassan,
also
senator
cannot comment.
New Hampshire. Okay.
You can comment on it, but you're choosing not to comment on it. I can't comment on it as a cop-out. You can very well comment on it. Just like you're saying, I can speak on you. You can say that you can't comment on it, so you could have commented on it. You could say, I don't know, I'm not sure. What defines racism? Ask a follow-up question so that you can be able to answer those questions. He's naming people, asking you, are they racist? You could say, I don't know. What would you say is the main characteristics for being one? Because I'll let you know then. I mean, I know them, but not that much to know if they're racist or not. That's how I would have answered the question.
Can't comment on their being a racist or not. How about Senator Raphael Warnock from Georgia?
Similarly, I'm not familiar.
Okay. How about Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada?
Likewise, Mr. Roy.
Okay. Can't comment on whether they're racist or not.
I don't have an opinion as to the matter.
Okay, because you called me a racist.
There you have it, folks. So if you can call somebody a racist, then you obviously know what it takes. You know all of the ingredients. So if you're able to call somebody a racist, then you should know if someone else is that what you called me. So I love the fact that he set him up that way. Yeah, thank you. Okay, now I get it.
And you called me a racist because I said that Title 42 should be enforced. Something, by the way, that this administration did to the tune of over 1 million people.
Believe it's about 2.5 million people, actually.
Right. So this administration is racist?
I believe this administration has made a number of failures on the racial justice front.
So the Biden administration is racist?
I can't comment as the administration.
Interesting.
Come on, bruh. You can comment. You are a coward. What's his name? Aaron Reichel Melnick, Policy Director of American Immigration Council. See, that's that BS, man. That's that BS. You were emboldened enough to call somebody a racist, but when it comes to talking about people who you represent, now you want to be quiet. Now you daggone church. Now you little church mouse. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I don't even know now.
Good to know. Good to know that the Biden administration is racist and get that on the record. The fact is, people who want to enforce Title 42 believe that there was a reason that Title 42 was put in place, but they also recognize that Title 42 is, in fact, a Band-Aid on a very broken system where the laws were not being enforced otherwise.
Man, but that lady said, did they do that on purpose? I think they did that on purpose, set those ladies right behind Chip Roy. They did that on purpose, bruh. They are good for TV. You're going to see them. You're listening to Chip Roy, and he's going to be breaking it down, you know what I mean, saying some things that really matter. And you're going to look at these women now, especially now that I mentioned them.
To throw around words like racist, let me ask you a question. Is my friend Henry Cuellar, is he a racist?
I can't comment on that.
Right, because Henry Cuellar said the border community is very concerned about Title 42 being lifted. This message of lifting Title 4 is going straight to the criminal organizations. He stood up and said that Title 42 should be enforced. The administration stood up. The senators I just listed said that Title 42 should have stayed in place. Now, my personal view is that Title 42 wasn't the thing that needed to stay in place, that what ought to be in place is an actual border security that secures the border.
Thank you. I believe that too. You got all these people that's coming over into the country without our say so. We need to do something about it. I say we need to build like a little fallen, whatever area they come on to. We need to have like a button that make that area collapse, and right below that area is a sliding board of some sort that take them right back to where they came from. It takes them right back. Like you have a part that goes straight back to Mexico, a part that goes back to Venezuela, a part that goes back to wherever they came from. Wherever they came from, you come through this tunnel, come across the border, you think you made it, the floor drops, you're back in Mexico. You're like, whoa. So we went all that way for nothing. Absolutely. Especially since you idiots was against the wall.
Mr. Wolf, in your position at the head of the Department of Homeland Security, notwithstanding what my colleagues want to throw around with the ad hominem attacks, you were in fact charged with securing the homeland, right? That was actually your task,
yes.
Securing the homeland at the Department of Homeland Security?
That's correct.
Right. And did you do that?
Yes.
Right. And is the current administration securing the homeland?
No.
Hold up. So your job was to secure the homeland. You said you secured it, but now it's not secure. So who he's talking to right now? Do you work for the current administration or the last?
No. In any measure, in any way, shape, or form, is the current Secretary of Homeland Security carrying out his duty faithfully under the Constitution to secure the homeland of the United States?
He is not. As I've outlined in my written testimony and oral testimony, there's numerous instances where he is not faithfully executing the law.
I thank you, Secretary Wolf. What I would say is, if you go back to April of 2022, in a Judiciary Committee hearing, I read word for word the statutory definition of operational control under the Secure Fence Act. I read it sitting right over here. There was a chart, and I put up the chart. I put up the text, and the text says, operational control means the prevention of all unlawful entries into the United States, including entries by terrorists, other unlawful aliens, instruments of terrorism, narcotics, and other contraband. I asked Secretary Mayorkas, do you have operational control? And his response was, I do. And Congressman, I think the Secretary of Homeland Security would have said the same thing in 2020 and 2019. In March of 2023, however, in a Senate hearing, Secretary Mayorkas said, quote, with respect to the definition of operational control, I do not use the definition that appears in the Secure Fence Act. And the Secure Fence Act provides statutorily that operational control is defined as preventing all unlawful entries in the United States. By that definition, no administration has ever had operational control. Just 2 weeks prior, United States Border Patrol Chief Raul Ortiz answered, no, sir, when asked by Homeland Security Chairman Mark Green, does DHS have operational control of the entire southwest border? So the United States Border Patrol Chief, Raul Ortiz, says, we do not have operational control of the border. He answered straight up, truthfully, no, sir. Why was it that the Secretary of Homeland Security, when I asked him that question, he said, yes, we have operational control. He said, I do, to be more precise. But then in the Senate, he comes back and says, oh, but no, I'm sorry. If you use that definition, you know, the one in the statute, no one has ever had operational control. What is your response to that, and how would you characterize having operational control of the border, as you would say in the previous administration compared to current?
I love the fact that he asked them all an open-ended question based off of the information that he just now laid out. Now it gives the individual an opportunity to really express themselves along with some facts. Hopefully they use some facts as well, because just one or two, all right? And hopefully they don't cower and not fully address the situation at hand, because this is a real situation right here, all right? Don't be so afraid that you're about to be Chip Royed, okay? Everybody that's in front of Chip Roy, get Chip Royed, all right? You're about to be Chip Royed. You've already been Chip Royed. Just go ahead and be a man. You got integrity, right? You got character, right? Be honest.
I would certainly talk about my time in the Trump administration, and if I were to get asked that question, whether we had operational control, the answer was no, we did not. Neither was the border secure, and I think words matter here. Those are very definitive statements. I always talked about how we were making the border more secure, or it was the most secure in our lifetime. But to say that you have complete operational control, to say that the border is closed, to say that it is secure, you're hiding the ball from the American people. You're not being transparent. And it's for a purpose, I think you can only guess, a political purpose, but it also defies what the men and women of the Border Patrol and others are doing down there. When they see their political leadership make these sorts of statements, it's so bad it's hard to find words. They don't know what to think, because they are on the line. They are on that border every single day, watching the hundreds of thousands of individuals walk past them that they have to process. And they see that someone is saying that this border is secure. Or you see the 200 known or suspected terrorists that have come across this border in the last 2 years.
He's telling truths that he's not supposed to tell, but I'm glad he is.
But somehow that border is closed and secure. I don't understand it.
There you have it. So he just now told facts that need to be out there. Here's the thing though. We need to share this so it gets outside of our echo chamber. It gets into the algorithm of those people who are intentionally avoiding this. You got to understand, people are becoming idiots by using their idiot devices all day long. And the only things that they are clicking on are things that entertain them, things that make them giggle, things that make them feel happy or feel warm inside. They aren't clicking on anything that goes against their religious beliefs, their political beliefs, their personal beliefs, things that are going to make them better, things that are the truth and are based off of like the complete opposite of what they've been doing at the polls. They're not clicking on those things, all right? We need to put this in front of their eyes and say, yo, click on this. Black man might say something that you like. Oh man, I'm in the middle of this and he's saying something I don't like. Oh well, I kind of like him, so I'm gonna keep on listening. You know what I mean? It could be anything. I don't know why we shouldn't have to use these tactics, but that's what algorithms are doing. They are messing up this nation. They are. We'll talk about the rest of the world later. But when it comes to this country, people are only clicking on things that appease them. Everything's free, so it's not getting any better. We want people to hear the truth. We want people to know the truth, and we want people to vote based off of the truth, but they're not, because only thing that they're clicking are things that make them feel good inside. Hopefully you understood that. I'm glad that we have some people who are telling the truth, man. But I still, when Trump was in office, there were people still coming over here by the hundreds of thousands, right? But his plan was, I'm gonna stop this. And we about to stop it right now. We about to build a daggone wall so they stop coming over here. Yeah, and we about to get it started right now. Let's go. And for some strange reason, that came into a complete halt once they got him out of office, and they never went back to building that. Why is that? That's my only question. Why is that? How does that serve us as Americans? The fact that you said, no. We was going to put up some security to prevent people from coming over here, but now we're not. Because why are we not doing it? Because it's racist and they deserve to come over here too. We are a sanctuary country